You can get all of NECA's It releases at Big Bad Toy Store at the link in the description down below, if you dare. Pokemon, Kaiju, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello there, collectors. It's Steven here, and today we are going to be taking a look at quite a horror classic with NECA's ultimate Pennywise, the dancing clown from It. Yeah, It. That's actually a pretty cool name. But anyway, we're not going to be talking about the movie. We're going to be talking about the clown, the Tim Curry version. So this one actually has a little bit of an interesting history. NECA was a bit hesitant to make this one because if they did, meeting fan demand, it would be a financial loss. That's right, no profit made from these figures. So with that in mind, did NECA actually make a quality product, or is this just a QC nightmare? Maybe somewhere in between? I don't know. So let's take a look to see whether or not it's worth adding into your collection. Normally, I'm a little hesitant to say NECA got the finer details right on their figures. Almost always there is some sort of quality control issue, whether or not it's going to be blending issues, whether or not paint is going to be spilling outside of the pre-sculpted lines for it, if they miss netting on a Predator, etc., etc. However, when it comes to this version of It, NECA knocked it out of the park, and, you know, some of the smaller details are good? Yeah. Couple of quality control issues here or there, and as this review keeps going on, you're going to see some more. But in terms of how It, Pennywise, looks, it's actually pretty solid, and some of the smaller details are impressive, especially on the torso. But anyway, enough of that. Let's take a closer look at the default head, where they actually did a pretty rock-solid job of capturing Tim Curry here. The eyes look great. They are actually looking off in separate directions, which is pretty creepy, if I may say so myself. The paint for the mouth, it could be a little teeny tiny better, but to be honest with you, at the price point, that is just nitpicking. Now, one issue, though, is the nose. You're going to see this on some alternate heads, but to be honest with you, it seems like every single one of these Pennywise figures that I had a chance to look at, there was chipped paint on the nose. The default head does not have it, but other heads will. Speaking of red things on Pennywise's head, the hair sculpt is great. But there is an issue when it comes to swapping the heads, and we'll take a look at that later. But anyway, the actual detailing here is great. You can see plenty of individually sculpted hair meshing together to create this red sort of afro mess. Very cool. The only thing to keep in mind is that this red hair will transfer over onto the white on the collar for Pennywise, which mine has come off, unfortunately. It was glued at the factory, but yeah, just red paint transfer. Otherwise, the rest of Pennywise is pretty kickin', because on that collar, we do have a nice alteration between purple and green paint, which is really cool. No issues there. And then when we get to his vest, it is really awesome. Why is that? Well, we do have a nice floral design pattern here for Pennywise, and you know what? All of the details on it looks like it's a decal, but I don't think that it is. Looks like it's paint, so kudos to NECA for getting that. Pennywise's arms look great as well. They're nice and baggy in terms of what he's wearing for clothing, so that is great to see. NECA paying attention to detail. And then when we get to the overall yellow bodysuit, again, nice bagginess found here as well. Actually kind of looks like he's wearing a diaper. But anyway, overall for the looks, Tim Curry Pennywise, they knocked it out of the park. For Articulation Pennywise, unfortunately, the design does not really lend itself to an action figure, but NECA did pretty all right. But there's one issue that I have. So you notice he was leaning forward, getting him upright. Yeah. No bueno. But let's talk about the joints, and let's actually see why he's able to fall over so easily. Right. So first and foremost, Pennywise, head, neck, it's on a ball joint. We can twist and turn Pennywise's head from side to side, get him to look up and down, up about that far, down about that far, left, right, complete 360 spin, not a big deal. Keep in mind, like I mentioned before, paint transfer with this nice flame red hair. Yeah, on the collar, you don't really want that. For shoulder movement, there is a peg that plugs into Pennywise, so this way you can spin his arms around on a swivel. And then right in here, there is a hinge allowing you to raise and lower Pennywise's arms. You can see the hinge there. Pretty cool. Speaking of hinges, we do have double hinge for the elbows, one closer to the bicep and one close to the forearm. The bend is about that good, even with stuck joints and all. See, there you go. Pretty cool. And then those plug in on swivels, so you can move the arms around even a bit more. That's very, very cool. The wrists on all of the hands, they are on pegs, so they have a swivel movement, and then hinges. Now, they're only going to be able to hinge forward and back in one pose, so you're not going to be able to get this hand to move like that, just like that. Something to keep in mind, I'm going to go over this when I talk about head swapping, but for the hands, you may need to heat them up in order to pop them apart, so this way you can swap out different hands at the wrists, and then you may even need the heat just to simply move them and unfreeze that point of articulation. So just blast the hands with heat if you're having trouble moving them around. Now when it comes to the ab crunch, we do have a ball joint system here. You can move Pennywise back about that far, forward about that far, lean from side to side, twist and turn. So it's a ball joint. You know how that works. Now for the hips, they are on swivels, going forward and back, and hinges moving out to the side, right? So there you go. About that far forward and back, and that far out to the side. Very good. Now, where they plug in, they also have swivels for the thighs. Pretty cool. Single hinged knees, which also have swivels. Very good. And then for the ankles, very weird. I believe they're on ball joints because we can get a little bit of rocker motion to them, right? Not like a figure art style ankle rocker, but rocks around on a ball joint. And the feet are small. They're also anchored oddly here on Pennywise. So when we have him standing straight up, right, you can see that the feet are sort of angled, right? So you're going to have Pennywise lean just a bit forward in order to get him to stand sort of on his own, or put him in a weird pose, right? Like this. And then let's adjust that so you can see the feet. So yeah, definitely keep in mind you may want to use some form of support stand, which if you need some, there's going to be a card popping up here. Click on that and take you to a whole video about support stands. But anyway, yeah, Pennywise has some difficulty standing on his own just because of weird joints, not allowing you to position the feet properly all of the time. But still, at the end of the day, articulation, yeah, Pennywise is it's pretty good. Not amazing, but pretty good. I like it. Can get some fun poses. Now on to the accessories, and this is where NECA began to go in the red with this figure release. Yeah. We get 3 alternate heads, each from an iconic scene in the movie or something that Pennywise does, which is really cool. We get 2 alternate right hand parts, so this way Pennywise can hold the noisemaker or the plethora of balloons he comes with. A left hand part to make it look like he's pointing. We get monster hands, and we get an actual paper SS Georgie. That's right, yeah, it's made out of paper, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. And in total, we get 7 balloons. Pretty dang cool here, and let's just jump into those accessories, shall we? Well, first and foremost, let's go ahead and take a look at the alternate heads, where we do have an alternate head where Pennywise is activating the deadlights. Ooh, and he's getting ready to take a bite out of someone. The only issue I have here is I wish we could have got better looking fangs. Yeah. We get a head where he is laughing hysterically, and he's getting ready to take a small child back into his well, and then we get a head where he got blasted with that battery acid. Ooh. That is pretty gruesome, and the detailing on this head is fantastic. Yes, I know it's an inhaler. Anyway, very cool details here, but swapping them is a bit of a pain. You see, the socket for the neck is really, really small, and it fits tightly on the ball joint. So you're going to have to heat this up very, very, very well in order to swap out the head parts. I really can't show you here because I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, so I can't record me heating it up and swapping. But do keep in mind that the red hair piece, that's an entirely separate piece. So if you're going to pull on Pennywise's heads, you might rip the hair off. Good job, NECA. Anyway, Time to take a look at those demon hands. Ooh, very, very spooky. Yeah, monstrous hands. Ooh, they're going to get you. Very cool accessory to have here. It's nice to see that we can display Pennywise in plenty of different forms as he's taken throughout the movie. Or she? No. Anyway, noisemaker. Pretty simplistic accessory here. Nothing over the top. It's there. If you want to recreate any scenes, you definitely can. But the big showstopper here would be those balloons that Pennywise comes with. We get one green, one dark blood red. We get one orange, one blue, one white, and two yellow. Now, in this one, I included the red balloon that comes with the 2017 Ultimate Pennywise just because it makes it look a bit more colorful. Now, these balloons are simply recasts of that balloon that came with that Pennywise, so you're not really going to have too much difference looks-wise, but some things to keep in mind. You are going to see the production seams where they were snapped together in the factory, and it does have the wire for the string, so do be careful that you don't strip the rubber off of that wire. Also, since this is the same balloon that came with the 2017 Ultimate Pennywise, you can use it with that one if you want a different display for that Pennywise. Last but most certainly not least, we have the paper SS Georgie. Yep, it's literally made out of paper, and it is included in the portion of the clamshell that has the balloons in a little baggie. So do keep this in mind in case you decide you want to just rip and tear and throw everything out. So that's it for the actual accessories that come with Pennywise. Now, here's something that I really like to do with these NECA Ultimate figures, and pay attention to the box. The box is a fantastic recreation of one of the most iconic movie posters that folks know involving clowns. Yes, we do have Tim Curry looking over the side in the corner there. Looks awesome. And on the back of the box, we just have some promotional shots of this Pennywise and the many accessories that he comes with. There is a window flap that when it opens up, you just see the inside and you take a look at Pennywise and all of his many accessories. So I have to say NECA did a great job here for the box. It looks fantastic. Now, when it comes to the overall accessories, Pennywise, plenty of display options here. So if you can think of something from the movie, chances are you're going to be able to execute it here. Overall, though, there may be some flame effects or whatnot that you want to go with this Pennywise, and there are plenty of other accessories like that on the market. You're also going to need a display stand, like I said before, so get one of those. Should have come with it. Now to round out the review, here's a size comparison with the Tim Curry Pennywise and the Bill Skarsgård Pennywise. So this way, if you're looking to create an It display, you can see just how big these figures are all going to be together, and with some other figures you just might have in your collection. As you can see, this version of Pennywise is, quite frankly, a little small. Not too intimidating. I'm going to be honest with you here. After seeing this size comparison, I want to see Danny DeVito play Pennywise. So, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Like I made mention before, NECA went in the red on this figure. They were not able to make a profit off of this, at least breaking even, at the time of this review anyways. And I do have to say that overall this Pennywise is a win. Yes, there are some issues like the red hair being a separate part that can pop off. The collar on mine popped off for glue, but that's not really that humongous of an issue. But I think the biggest issue is the fact that all of these Pennywise that I saw, all 5 of them, there was at least one paint chip on the red nose. That's it. And to be honest with you, that is just a simple fix with some red paint if you really wanted to do that. Now, I would say NECA isn't going to reissue this figure forever. And if you're looking to get this, especially with the 2019 It movie coming out relatively soon, hype is going to go up. Get it before it goes away. Well, folks, that's the end of this review. Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow me on social media to catch more behind-the-scenes shenanigans and updates. The end card should be popping up now with more hand-selected STR goodness for you to watch, so check out some of those videos. Be sure to check the description, too, to see where you can buy this figure or others like it, and some cool links, like the credits for this video, and other ways you can help out the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.